Elijah was a prophet who lived after the kingdom of Israel divided. He preached to the people in the time of King Ahab, and God told him to tell Ahab,
"It is not gonna rain for 3 years."
This made Ahab really mad, but it was so much more than just a drought. See, the people of Israel were still worshiping the Canaanite god Baal. Baal was the storm god, so this drought, with no rain from the real God, would really challenge the people of Israel who worshipped this false god. No one wants to be told they're bad or being punished by God. When someone is being told they're bad, they usually get pretty angry, and Ahab was no exception. He was really mad at Elijah. He thought Elijah was a troublemaker, but really, it was God's punishment. Elijah was just the messenger. So God told Elijah to go to the Brook Cherith and hide there from Ahab. So Elijah listened and went to the brook. While he was there, God sent ravens to bring him meat and bread every day in the morning. And they brought him meat and bread every day in the evening. But remember, Israel was in a bad drought, and it wasn't going to rain for 3 years. So eventually, the brook dried up. But God wasn't going to leave Elijah with nowhere to go, so he told him to go to a widow's house. God said he commanded the widow to feed him, so Elijah obeyed. He found the widow gathering sticks and said,
"Bring me some water to drink."
And as she was going to get the vessel, he called,
"And a morsel of bread too."
She could get him water, but she didn't have any bread. So she said, "As the Lord your God lives, I have nothing baked, only a handful of flour and a little oil in a jar. And now I am gathering some sticks so that I can go make it for myself and my son, so we can eat it and then die." It was the last food she had, and since the land was in a drought, she could not get more. She was ready to eat her last meal and die. But Elijah said,
"Do not fear. Go and make the food as you want, but first make the bread for me. Your jars of flour and oil will not run out until the end of the drought."
Every day she checked her jars, and they were full of oil and flour. She, her child, and Elijah could eat every day, and she and Elijah and her child were happy.
Wait, I thought she had a son.
She does, but we only have a girl for this video.
Well, it's not very historically accurate, then, is it?
Okay, fine. And all was going well until one day her child was sick. She was so sad and said, "Is God punishing my sin? Why is my child dead?" So she gave her son to Elijah, and he prayed over the child 3 times. And guess what? The child came alive, and Elijah brought him to his mother, and she was so happy. She said, "Now I know that you are a man of God, and what you say is true."
Wait a minute. God miraculously filled her jars every day, and she still wasn't sure that God's hand was on her life.
Yeah, but don't be so hard on her. Look at all our blessings. We have food every day and safety, and we live in an amazing time in history. And sometimes we still complain and wonder if God's listening when bad things happen.
Yeah, that's true.
So, anyway, at the end of 3 years, God told Elijah he needed to go to King Ahab, and God was going to send rain. So Elijah said,
Okay.
and said goodbye to the widow and left on his journey. He was probably thinking about how much God had protected him in miraculous ways over the past 3 years. Elijah did a very hard thing when he told the people that it was not going to rain for 3 years. No one wants to tell people bad news. When you confront people about the bad things they're doing, like the Israelites worshiping false gods, people get really angry and can even hate you. It's hard to feel good when people are mad at you, especially when you know you are doing good things for God. But Elijah always knew that God was with him. Every single day, he saw miracles from God keeping him safe and keeping him alive. We need to work hard to be like Elijah and recognize all the miracles God does in our lives every day, all the little things he provides for us. It is so easy to become like the widow and get used to God giving us what we need every day. She needed to see her son brought to life to truly believe Elijah was a man of God. The daily miracle of food wasn't enough for her. We live in a country where it can be easy to forget about God because most of us have much more than we need every day. If we stop and thank God for at least 3 things He gives us every day, and then pray to thank Him for those things, it can help us remember that God is always with us and always providing for us. We want to be thankful for God's provision in happy times and hard times. We don't want to be like the widow who only truly believed when she saw a big miracle. Every day, we are surrounded by the providence and provision of God. So let's work on being thankful for not just the big things, but the little things every day.